So we're going to go ahead and now we can place this to be full screen. We're going to jump into the sidebar, and then we can begin to build out the sidebar. So the sidebar is going to be as follows. It has a bunch of imports, and once again I'm going to be using auto imports. So we want to get navigate once again, just like in the bottom now. So const navigate is equal to use navigate, and then const location is equal to use location, and then const destructor the user. This is coming from use user from class, and then const tags. Now we're getting this function because we want to be able to show the tags of the user in the sidebar. So const tags is equal to use query, and then we're going to pass in API dot nodes. Now we don't have this function, so it's probably going to break dot get user tags, and then this is going to be checking for the user. If the user is true, we're going to pass in the user ID as user.id, because that's how you get it in Clark. Others, we want to skip the query, and then we need to auto import this. So control spacebar and then enter. And then once again, we want to check for is active, and we've already done it inside here. So let's just go ahead and copy it because it's easier. So copy and then paste it inside there, and then we can build out our return. So our return, we're going to returning a div here with a class name of width-64, and then bg-gray-900, and then border on the right, and then border-gray-800, and then flex-column, flex-column, height-screen, and then relative. And the reason why we are positioning it relative is because everything else is going to be scrolling, but the sidebar is not going to be scrolling. Now, inside this, first of all, we want to go ahead and build out the header. And the header for this is just going to be showing the icon. So inside the header, we're going to have a div with a class name of padding all round of 6, and then border-bottom, and then border-gray-800, and then another div with a class name of flex, and then item-center, and then gap of 3. And then inside this, we're going to have another div with a class name of size-8, and then bg-primary. Now this is where the variables come into play. So primary is one of the variables we have in our index.css, and then rounded-large, and then flex, and then items-center, and then center, and then justify-center. This is going to be showing the notebook icon. So notebook icon, like so. And then this is going to have a class name of size-5, and then text-white. And then below this, and below this div, actually, we're going to have a span. This span is going to have a class name of text-xl, font-semibold, and then text-white. The text is going to say notes. Now, in order to test this out, we need to disable this part right here, which uses Convex, so that we don't get any error. So you can disable it temporarily, we can save it, and there is our sidebar. This is placed wrongly, and it's because I have misspelled this. So justify center, and there we go. Now we can enable this because the rest of the parts, or rather most of it, depends on the tags, but that's okay. So we're going to go below this span, and then below these two divs, we're now going to build our navigation. So navigation. Below this, we're going to have a nav element with a class name of flex-1, and then padding all around 4, and then overflow-auto, and then padding on the bottom of 20. So overflow auto is just to make sure that if tags are so many, then we're going to be able to scroll over them. And then padding bottom of 20 is just to push away from our logout button. And then we're going to have another div inside here with a class name of space on the y of 1. And then inside here, we're going to have a button from /our button. The variant for this is going to be checking for is active, and you want to check for the /path. If that is true, then the button is going to have a variant of default. Otherwise, it's going to have a variant of ghost. And then it's going to have some class names here. So class name is equal to, open this up, so cn utility, and then we're going to pass in width-full inside string. So width-full, justify-start, gap-3, gap-3, and then height-11. And then outside of this, we want to check for is active, and then pass in the / if that is true. If that is true, we're going to have some class names, and if it is false, we're going to have some class names. So if it is true, we want to have bg primary, and then text-white, and then on hover, we want bg-primary /75, so an opacity of 75, and then otherwise we're going to say text dash gray dash 400, and then on hover bg dash gray dash 400 dash 800, not dash 400. And then the on click for this button is going to be calling the inline function here, so navigate into the / like so. And then the title for this, so when you hover over this, it's going to show you a tooltip. It's going to say all nodes, and then open up some brackets here. We're going to say control, so CTRL +1, like so, have a space, and then close that out. And then inside this button, we're going to be showing the notebook icon, and we already have the notebook imported somewhere. So notebook, and then the class name for this, and actually this doesn't have any class names, it's just going to say all nodes. And then below this, we're going to have a span, the class name of margin on the left of auto, and then text dash extra small, and then opacity of 75, and then this is just going to say CTRL +1, so control +1. Now if we save, actually we need to disable this first of all. You can disable it, save that, and now that is what we were building out. Now we're going to just go ahead and do some copying and pasting. So copy this button, paste it down. This is going to be checking for the archived, can't spell archived, like so. And this is also, let me just copy this here, paste it here. And this is now going to say control +2. This is going to say archived notes, and then this is going to say archived notes. This is going to say control +2. Save that. Let's see. So we have archived notes, and let's see. This should say archived right here. That's why the class name is applying. There we go. Now we're going to do the same thing for the search as well as for the settings. So you can just copy this button. So copy, paste it down, highlight this archived, and then Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D. Change this into search, and then change this into Control +3. Change this into capital S. Oops. Capital S, and then this into capital S as well. Change this into Control 3. Why is my mouse jumping? Control 3, save that. That is the search nodes. And I've just noticed that I've forgotten to change the icons. So this should render out the search icon from Lucid React. This should say, it should show the archive icon from Lucid React. Save that. There we go. And then one more time. So copy this button, copy, paste it below, and then you can highlight this. So Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D. You can change this into the settings. It should say small settings with a small s, and then change this into capital S. Change this into capital S. Change this. Oops. Change this into capital S. Change this. This should not say settings notes, but settings. Change this into Control +4. This should say Control +4. Save that. And what's happening? Control spacebar and then enter. So I had not imported that. So there we go. So settings, not settings notes. There we go. So now if I say Control 1, I'm on the home page. Control 2 goes me to the archived page. Control 3, Control 4. Why is it not highlighting? Why is it not highlighting? It is because of what? So it's not highlighting. I'm thinking probably it's an issue with our isActive function. So let's see our isActive, because I can't seem to find where the issue is right here. Oh, and you know what? I apologize. This should say not equal to, which means on the bottom now it should also say not equal to. And I failed to catch that when we were on the bottom nav. But you can see now Control 1, homepage, Control 2, Control 3, Control 4, and I'm navigating basically the application. So let's just inspect this. Let's just make sure that this is also working. So I'm on the archived. Okay. So it is working as we expect it to work. So that is our sidebar almost complete. But now we need to go ahead and, oops, what am I doing? We need to go ahead and build out the tags section as well as our logout button. So let's start with our logout button, because our logout does not require, what's it called? Our logout does not require convex functions. So you're going to go below the nav element right here. This nav element is going to have a div, or rather below that, we're going to have a div, the class name of absolute, and then bottom -0, and then z index of 10, width -full, border -top, and then border -gray -800, then padding on the y of 2, padding on the x of 4, and then bg-gray-900. And then inside this, we're going to be rendering out the sign out button. Remember, we used the sign in button when we were signing in. So inside the sign out button, we're going to have a button from shadcn with a class name here of cursor dash pointer, and then bg dash primary. And then the size for this is going to say small, and then the icon is going to be showing the log out icon, and then the text is just going to say log out. If we save that, we should see log out right there. And then now the tag section is the one that is remaining. So for the tag section, we're going to go below this button. So after the settings icon, below the button, and then below this div, but still within the navigation, we want to go ahead and say, let's add a comment here. So tags section. So below this, we want to check for tags. If tags is true and the tags, and the tags dot length is greater than 0, if that is true, that's when you want to have the tag section. So we're going to create a div with a margin top of 8, and then inside this div we're going to have an h3 with a class name of text dash small, font dash medium, and then text gray dash 500, and then padding on the x of 3, and then margin bottom of 3, and then uppercase, and then tracking wide. And then inside this, we're going to have some text that says tags. Now we can save that, but nothing's going to show because we don't have that function yet. And let me just make sure that let's enable this first of all, enable that. And then back inside our tags, still nothing is going to show because we don't have that function, but let's just build out the UI first of all. So below the h3, we're going to have a div with a class name of space on the y of 1. And then inside here, we're going to map over our tags. So tags.map. And then for every tag that we get back, we want to go ahead and return a button here with a key of tag, and then the variant is going to say ghost, and then the class name for this is going to be equal to the cn utility, and then open this up, then let's close out the button. But inside the button, we're going to have the tag icon from Lucid React with a class name here of size-3, and then the text is going to say tag. But now for the class names, we're going to have a class name of width-full, and then justify-start, and then gap of 1, and then text-extra small, and then height-9. And then outside of this, we want to check for the location.path name is triple equal to the backticks first of all, so /tags, and then / a dynamic value of the tag, because this is the path. If you check the app.jsx, this is the path that we are targeting. So when you click on a tag, we want to navigate into this path. And if that is true, so outside of this, if that is true, question mark, then you want to show something, and if it is false, then you want to show something as well. So if it is true, you want bg-primary /50, and then text-white. And then if it is not true, then you want text-gray-400, and then on hover you want bg-gray-800. And then you can go ahead, and before we do that, actually you need an on click. So when you click on either of these tags, you want to call the navigate, and you want to navigate into the /tags, and then / dynamic value tag. So these are backticks, not just quotation marks. So you can save that. It is formatted much better. And then now we actually need to go ahead and create this function right here. So let's go ahead and do that. So the function that we want to create is called getUserTags. So let's just copy that, and then inside Convex, let's create a new file called notes.js, and notes because that is how we are accessing the getUserTags from the notes right there. So we're going to go ahead and say import query, and then import mutation as well, and then import v from Convex values. Really? So import v from Convex values, and then export const, and then the function we want is getUserTags. And getUserTags is a query. So it is a query that takes in the arguments here. It takes in the user ID as v.string, like so. And then a handler function here, asynchronous context arguments. And then we're going to say the following: const nodes is equal to await context.db.query, and we are querying the nodes table, and we're querying it with index of by user, so only get the tags for a specific user, passing in our query here, so query.equals, and then we want to check the user ID compared to the arguments.user ID that is provided, and then collect all of them because we are getting many of them. And then const tag set is equal to new set, so we're going to be using sets because probably nodes are going to have many nodes that are repeating, so we only want to get the one unique node so that it don't show like 200 of the same thing, you know. And then we're going to say nodes.for each, and then for each node that we get back, then we're going to say the following: nodes or the node.tags.for each once again. And then for every tag that you get back, then we want to get the tag set, and then we want to add the tag to it. And then once we do that, then we're going to return an array. So return array.from, and then get the tag set like so, and then sort them. So set them in what's it called? Ascending order. So you can save that, and now our application should not break. So save or reload that rather. So application still breaks. Let's check whether Convex is okay. So Convex is okay. Our functions are compiling correctly. So let's check our console, what is happening. So it says API is not defined, so I did not import API on the sidebar. So right here, control spacebar, enter, and then this should come from .. Save that, and there we go. So now we have the tags are now going to appear right here, but we don't have any tags yet because we don't have any nodes yet either. So it is going to appear right here. Okay, so next we are going to build out our nodes view component.